Good morning, Aries. Welcome back to the channel. Glad to be back. I did post a video about where I've been and what's coming to the channel, so if you're curious about that, you can watch that. You don't have to. I'm just going to jump straight into your reading since I already addressed that. So, alright, let's see your current energy for, what is it, June 2021. And my name's Ben. I'm going to do your reading. Alright, let's see. I'm going to do our usual spread, past, present, future. So, that's past. Present. Future. Alright. Let me make sure you can see all the cards. Good. Make sure I set up my camera right. It's been a while. Okay. Do our clarifiers like we usually do, and then we'll hop into it. But already, I can see you had a rough past. You're having a nice present, and you're going to have a, not a crazy future, but like crazy in a good way, okay? Because the tower moment is massive changes. So let me put clarifiers. You had these pop out. So a connection you were dealing with, because I was about to put clarifiers for the past. A connection you were dealing with in the past, some healing is coming toward it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you are healing with that person, because we had judgment in there, okay? And judgment is karma. So possibly that person is receiving karma for whatever went on between the both of you, and they are healing as a person because of it. We're going to have to wait and see what the reading says here. No, I don't know why I did that. I never pull from the bottom, but I guess today we're going to pull from the bottom because that's what happened. Yeah. If you see dog hair on me, please ignore it. I have a dog now that I also addressed in my video. And she sheds a lot because she's a corgi, and she has corgis have 2 layers of coats. So they shed a lot. Alright. So, yeah, in the past... You were dealing with somebody... Interesting. Okay, you were dealing with somebody who didn't necessarily know what they wanted. It seemed like they had a lot of... Either they had a lot of options, or they were actually giving to multiple situations where, like, they were dating multiple people, including you. They could have even been, like, not necessarily married. It could have been, but, like, they could have had one serious commitment, and then, like, kind of, like, frolicking about in, like, multiple different connections, including you. So it was very toxic, okay? And the reason this person was doing this was because they had like a big internal battle within themselves about themselves. They didn't know who they were. They were very confused. They probably weren't necessarily happy in the situation they were in, but it doesn't give them the right to go around and mess with other people. You know what I mean? Because that doesn't just affect them, it affects the people they're messing with, like you, for example, or the person that they had a commitment with. That might have been you, but if it was you that they had like a strong commitment with, they were, you know, kind of playing the field, as it's called. And it left you, like, stressed, overthinking, feeling like you don't know what to do. Because the 9 of Swords, not a pleasant card. Okay, 8 of Swords, not a pleasant card. They're both cards about high anxiety, alright? And there are positive aspects to every card, of course, but in this sense, it's not. It's the anxiety, the overthinking, the feeling like trapped, feeling like everything's against you, like you're feeling very outnumbered, okay? Because if you look on these cards, this person, both of these, okay, it's the same person because it's a progression of the story. They're very outnumbered, okay? They feel like, what's the word I want? Maybe overcome, like kind of like overcome with anxiety, like overwhelmed. That's what I want. You feel very overwhelmed. And you could have felt like there was somebody around you that could have helped, but was kind of like standing by and watching this unfold. Maybe it was like a mutual friend that was either nervous to get involved or didn't want to get involved, or it really could have been anybody. Because this is a general reading, okay? It's not a personal reading. So there was most likely somebody that could have helped but didn't. And then again, it's not their responsibility to. But you see what I'm saying, where it kind of left you feeling like you're really alone, because especially the person that kind of knew what was going on wasn't helping you, and that's how you felt. So that was toxic, right? So that was in the past. And now, in the present, okay? It's better. You do still have the Nine of Swords and the Eight of Swords, but they're in different context than they were over here, all right? Oh, and in the past, that person was extremely defensive. Anytime you tried to ask them or confront them about how they were treating you or what they were doing, it was like a battle. You know what I mean? Like that person would not back down. They would not admit they were wrong. They would never apologize. It was a very confrontational standoff energy. Okay, big ego in that energy. So presently, your central focus is the Ten of Cups, and it's clarified by the King of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. So you are focused on your emotional happiness, your emotional fulfillment. It doesn't necessarily have to be with another person, because the Ten of Cups can represent an emotional union with somebody, like a connection. Doesn't have to be romantic. But more importantly, it represents being whole within yourself, the balance between masculine and feminine energy within yourself, okay? So that is your main focus. Also with the King of Pentacles, you're focused on your stability, your finances, keeping yourself grounded, not getting swept up in a lot of drama. And the Nine of Cups, again, has to do with emotional fulfillment. But because it's the Nine of Cups, it's stuck in the masculine energy, okay? Because it's like, you're wanting that emotional fulfillment of the 10, which is your central focus. But when you're at the 9, it's kind of like you're out of balance, okay? Where you're kind of just holding on, or like not expressing your emotions fully. Like this person's very guarded, they're very closed off. It's like trust issues, not major, because it is the later progression of the suit, because you are at the 9 and then the 10, but it is still a little bit of like trust issues, not wanting to fully what's the word I want, not embrace, but like fully embrace emotion or fully open up to anybody. You're almost there. You're almost at the 10, because that is your central focus. But there's still a little part of you that's afraid to fully, like 100%, open up to anybody emotionally, okay? So that is your central focus, but you already do have the 10 manifested as your central focus. So you're pretty much there. There's just that little bit of like, you gotta brush the dust, brush the dust off, okay? I can't talk today. But yeah, you got that little bit of cleaning up to do in your energy. But that's good, okay? Because that means you're almost there. So, also, you have the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, and the Eight of Swords. So 2 aces paired with the Eight of Swords is interesting, because 2 aces represent a brand new beginning. It's very open, honest, communicative, excited energy. But then you have the Eight of Swords, which is feeling like trapped, contained, feeling blinded or blindsided. It's very, anxious. It's a very contradictive energy to the aces, okay? So again, I'm seeing that as your energy is starting to bloom. You have the aces, you have the 10 of Cups, you have Temperance, you have the Wheel of Fortune, Temperance again right here. And you also have the High Priestess and the Emperor. Like, you have some very high Major Arcana energy in this reading, especially for your present energy. But you do still have that occasional, like, blip. You know what I mean? Like that occasional little snag in your energy that's preventing you from manifesting fully what you want, okay? And it's not a bad thing. That just happens in the progression, right? You start off in a toxic situation, you go through the healing process, and before you can be fully healed, right before the end, there's always that little bit of extra stuff you gotta do, right? So that's where you're at. It's not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with you. You're perfectly fine. I'm just saying that where you are at, you are almost done healing yourself from that situation, but there's still that little bit that's being worked on right now. Okay, so that you're probably experiencing a lot of good luck, but then again, like things you feel like should have worked out in your favor just slightly didn't for some reason. That's that little bit of delay in your manifestation energy because of that. Okay, but that's not bad. Like I said, you're really close to a very, very abundant energy, a very abundant cycle for the Wheel of Fortune, okay? Because you were in a very toxic cycle, so the wheel always has to turn in your favor, right? It'll always turn no matter what, whether it's in your favor or not. So because it was in toxic, as long as you do your part and you do your healing and you work on yourself and you balance yourself back out, the wheel will turn back into your favor, right? So that's where you're headed. Interestingly, though, because you're doing that, this person from the past is now deciding that suddenly they've had an epiphany and they want to come back, okay? And I'm not going to give you advice on this because it is lessons you have to learn on your own. If you think this person has truly healed and truly manifested this better version of themselves, then great, right? But this is a general reading, so I can't give advice to one person because another person may take it and it's not for them. Okay? All I'm going to tell you is what I see, and then you make your own decisions, right? Because that's your job. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to guide you for you to make your own decisions. So, this person, what I see, okay? My insights here, you can make your own decision, whatever you want, but what I see, this person is still represented in a veil energy, okay? Because you have the High Priestess here. Of course, the High Priestess is typically a beautiful card, but when it's paired with an Emperor, especially this Emperor, I use different decks for different reasons. This Emperor is my out of balance Emperor, and if the Emperor had come out in my main deck, that would be a balanced Emperor, okay? So this is why I use two different decks. So this person is, actually I use a lot of different decks, but anyway, this person is still out of balance, all right? I'm still not a fan of their energy. They're still not, they're still in a controlling, manipulative type of energy. And this is the Aries card for Emperor. It could be representing you. Maybe that's part of your hang up here in your energy. Take it how it fits, because this does apply to a lot of different people, okay? Some of you may have gone from feeling like you were so not in control in the past to now that little bit of snag in your energy is you wanting to control, okay? Because a lot of times you'll find someone who used to be in an abusive relationship, or like for me, I had a very abusive childhood for 15 years. So after that, I developed an issue with control where I always wanted to be in control, right? Because when you're a kid, you don't have control about what's happening to you, right? No one listens to you. So then you go the complete other half and you have an issue with being too controlling and too like not demanding, but you know what I mean? You want to be the authority of everything. But to truly manifest, you have to have the balance between masculine, which is the Emperor energy, and feminine energy, which is the Empress, okay? So when you're in the controlling energy, you're shutting off your feminine side, which is not good, number one, for your mental health, spiritual health, or emotional health. Two, it's not good for manifesting. And three, it just sucks. You know what I mean? Like, it's not fun to be in that energy. So if this isn't you that I'm describing, this is your person, okay? So it's possible, because remember, hurt people, right? So maybe this person was badly hurt in the past, and that's why they became so toxic. And now they have an issue with control because of that, because they went through so much shit that now they want to be in complete control so that doesn't happen again. But they don't realize that by doing that, they are causing harm to other people by acting that way, right? Because that makes them the toxic one. So they kind of switched roles with their abuser, if that makes sense. That's why abuse is always a cycle. So it doesn't have to be abuse, right? Because every situation is different. But if that is the case, this person still has a lot of healing to do, all right? It looks like this one applies to both of you, okay? Because the Wheel of Fortune is balanced. It goes to both sides. So you are still having a little anxiety because you do think about this situation from the past, because you were very invested into it. Even if you weren't with them for very long or you weren't officially dating, you were very emotionally invested, okay? So it's still keeping you up at night. It's still a lot on your mind about it, and the same with them. But for them, it's more so they don't like that they were cut off, or that you ended things, or that you kind of went your own way. It's more of an ego feeling for them rather than emotional, but it is still keeping them up at night. But temperance here, balance is going to come in for both of your energies, okay? For your emotions, it's going to balance out, and you're going to have that balance between the masculine and feminine for that Ten of Cups. And for them, temperance means balancing emotion. So for them, they're going to be forced. Remember, judgment came out too. They're going to be forced to feel their emotional body, okay? So Spirit's really gonna knock them down a few pegs and like give them a reality check and humble them a little bit. So that's the present energy, all right? So in the future, right? Remember how I said in the beginning, it's gonna be a big change, right? A little bit chaotic, but not bad chaotic. Because the Tower is a massive shift, a massive change, right? It's also paired with 2 aces, which is great because you had 2 aces in your present energy as well. So you are shifting from the toxic to the very close to manifesting a very abundant energy. And in the future, you're going to be in that abundant energy, okay? But when you're in that abundant energy, remember how I said this person is going to try to come back into your energy, right? Because when someone's doing good, you're going to notice a lot of people flock to them because they want to be part of that success, right? But what really matters is who is with you when you're down, or when you're not successful, or when you're having trouble. The people that are with you during those times truly support you, because it's not easy to be around somebody when they're like that. Like, think about when somebody goes through a breakup. A lot of people are like, I don't want to deal with that. Like, my friend's going through a bad breakup. She's emotional. I don't want to deal with that. Or he's a wreck. I don't feel like dealing with that. That is not a true friend, okay? You can say that, look, I will help you as much as I can, but I have my boundaries too. I'm not going to just sit here for hours and listen to you complain about your boyfriend, right? I will sit here with you and do what I can, but I have my boundaries too, because at the end of the day, it's not my problem. But I support you, and I would do my best to be there for you, all right? Especially emotionally, so you can have that balance. But this is the type of energy where they didn't give a shit. You could have gone through the worst thing ever, and they would have been like, I don't care, it's not my problem, don't talk to me about it, right? So that's that type of energy. But now that you're doing good, of course, that same type of energy wants to come back around, because now all they see is benefits for being around you, right? Instead of just, oh, I don't feel like dealing with that. Now it's, wow, what can I get out of this? They're doing really good. Like, they're really abundant. You know what I mean? So be careful of that energy, not just from this person, but in general, okay? They're called energy vampires. You can call them financial vampires, whatever you want. Vampires in general, right? So just be careful of that. But anyway, in the future, your energy, you have the Ten of Cups, all right, again in the future. And this time, it's paired with the Ace of Wands and the King of Wands, all right? So you are, like, on top of your shit, all right? Especially because you're a fire sign. You have the Ten of Cups with the Ace of Fire and the King of Fire, bro. Like, you're fine. You know what I mean? Your energy's great. And then the Ace of Swords, all right? Same thing you had in the present, you now have in the future. But it has the Eight of Cups and the Three of Cups. So like I said, the people that walked out on you in the past are now going to be coming back and trying to reconcile and like celebrate your success with you. And they're going to communicate with you with this Ace of Swords. But be careful, okay? With judgment, you have to make a judgment call. Are these people truly supporting me? Have they always been there for me? Or do they just want to be a part of my success? Okay? Because you have a lot of success coming your way in all areas. Because when the Wheel of Fortune shifts into abundance, it's not just financial, it's not just emotional, it's also spiritual, your physical well-being, like you're physically gonna be healthier, you know what I mean? It's every single aspect and area of yourself in your life is gonna become abundant. But remember, the wheel is always turning, so that's not gonna last forever. Enjoy it while it's here, and while it's not here, just know that it's coming. Okay, because everything is temporary, everything has its cycles, but you're about to enter into an abundant cycle, which is great. All right, so that's the reading I have for you guys. Okay, that's the end of it. You can turn it off now if you want, because now I'm going to talk about my website. So if you're not interested, you can just turn it off now. But I did address this in the video that I posted yesterday about where I've been and what's coming. I have made a website for Esoteric Insight. It's just esotericinsight.com, spelled the same way. I'm going to put it in the description anyway. But the reason I'm mentioning it is because I made it's all free. Okay, everything's free to use on the website. I made a whole spiritual community that I'm offering to everybody that I hope you can join. It's just an area where you guys can talk about like twin flames or your journey or whatever you're going through, spiritual stuff, anything esoteric, because I know it's hard to find people that understand. Like, if you try to tell someone your twin flame journey, they look at you like you're crazy unless they're another twin, right? Because then they understand what you're talking about, like the telepathic communication, the insane soul bond that can't be broken. Even if you never officially dated, it feels like you're already married. You know what I mean? Most people will not understand that because they haven't experienced it. So I made that whole community, and it's all free because I just wanted to offer you guys a place where you can meet other twins, other people, and just have a comfortable place to talk about it. And I'm on there too, so I'll be engaging in conversation too. I'll be talking to you guys too. So if you are interested in that, please check it out. It's brand new. I just launched it like not even a week ago, so there's only a couple members so far, but it'll grow over time. So if you do want to be one of the first people, there is a 30% discount on everything that I sell in my shop on the website, which is like I sell crystals. I have a whole apparel line because I'm an artist, so I like to put my art, and it's apparel for me. Like, just designing in general is like my outlet. My artwork's also up there, but you don't have to buy anything. I'm just explaining like what the coupon's for. And if you do want a personal reading with me, I am open for those again. And I also have those through the website now. So if you want to book with me, you have to book with me through the website. You don't have to do anything else on there. You can just book with me. But if you do want that, it's there. The 30% off coupon does not apply to services, meaning like me doing a reading for you. I also offer your full astrology and numerology reports, the whole thing, all that you'll ever need for your whole life. It's going to be in a custom book just for you, and I'll have to show that next time on a video what it looks like. The stuff that I offer, if you're interested. If not, please just join the free community, because I want to build it and give you guys a true place to just meet other people, completely free. So, all right, I'm done rambling. I hope you have a great day. I'm very happy to be back. I'm like full of energy right now, especially because it's your reading and you guys are always full of life. But yes, thank you very much, and I hope you have a great day.